video thing of the day. Before we get into this one though, do us a huge favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to break this up into a few sections. First, we're going to talk about the story. We're going to talk about what was reported and how it was attempted to be debunked. We're going to talk about what I believe and why. And then lastly, I'll give my conclusion. So first, let's go to the story. In order for me to go to the story, I got to show you the report. And that report is right here. All right. So this is a tweet from Paul Tassi. I'm about to call him Tom Warren. Same difference, right? Paul Tassi says, a source with knowledge of the situation has told me that Black Myth Wukong is not currently on Xbox because of an exclusivity deal. It is not delayed because of any sort of technical issue. And he tries to back this up originally by saying, look, from the start, the statements from Game Science and Microsoft conflicted with each other. Game Science citing optimization while Microsoft cited deals with other platform holders. So he's actually trying to let credence to whatever he was informed of by whomever, that, hey, what Game Science says doesn't jive up with what Microsoft said, so something's fishy here, and he's putting the onus on Game Science being behind the fishy business. Like, we don't have Microsoft actually coordinating with journalists to do fishy stuff, right? We got plenty of examples. And if you're watching this as part of the bigger podcast, which is NRO Podcast episode 73, just stay tuned. I'll get into all those bigger examples later. But that is the story. Let me now show you how it's being debunked, right? And shout out to my brother J-Dub. Now, I love J-Dub. That's my bro, Broadband Bully. Shout out. But it pains me because my brother J-Dub, as much as I love him, he's a troll, right? He loves trolling Xbox and making fun of Xbox. He'll say anything to make Xbox look bad. But I've noticed that over the last few months, I've had to go to the trolls to get the accurate synopsis of what's going on. I had to go to the PlayStation trolls because a lot of my Xbox brethren, they are jumping out of the window for stuff that they emotionally want to be true. This is not a good sign of gaming discourse when I gotta go to the trolls to get the truth. But shout out to J-Dub. J-Dub put this out here and it properly puts into perspective Paul Tassi's claim versus the claims of other people who have more seasoned patterns of accuracy behind them. All right, so here goes. He says, Paul Tassi's versus Jeff Grubb and others, battle of the trusted sources, who will win? So we got Paul Tassi's tweet that I just showed you. And then we got Jeff Grubb who says, no Sony money marketing deal keeping Black Myth off of Wukong. And then lastly, we got Special Nick, who says, it's not what I heard, in retweeting what Paul Tassi has to say. I heard there was a misunderstanding around this stuff. I heard Sony only paid to get the port done. No exclusivity, right? But Paul tries to go further, and I'll show you in a little bit where he tries to refute all this, or does he even try to refute all of it? I don't know. I don't know what you would call it, right? But yeah. So you have a lot of stuff going on here. That claim coming out, IGN actually backing it up too, what Paul Tassi said. But that's not a good group to have you back you up, having to back you up. Where you have Jeff Grubb and Special Nick, who are way more seasoned as far as giving us accurate information, especially as of late. We'll get into that. All right. So that's where we're at right now. Okay. So let me talk about what I believe. Now, I'm going to be very clear, very transparent here. I am not in the know here. I don't know what actually is the truth. I can't say it with 100% certainty, but I'm going to try to use patterns and common sense here to come to a conclusion for the moment. I'm not in the know here, but I highly doubt this rumor. I'm looking at this from a PlayStation perspective. What is the point of a non-marketing exclusive deal, right? Like, we had a similar circumstance before. We had a similar circumstance where, due to technical problems with the Xbox Series S, PlayStation got Baldur's Gate 3 timed. That meant a lot because Baldur's Gate 3 last year was the game of the year in a major way. So if you're a console holder and you kind of exclusively have that console wise, that's going to highly affect the amount of consoles that you sell, even if it's a de facto exclusive due to systematic issues. What am I talking about? Let me show you this. This is a report of PlayStation's activity from Sony. This comes from Sony directly, that shows how many consoles they shipped. It shows all a bunch of stuff, but it shows you how many consoles they've shipped during the PlayStation 4 era and versus what they're doing now. All right. So when you look at the PlayStation 4 era and you look at all their fiscal years, which end in April and March, the highest amount of consoles that they were able to ship were 20 million. They were able to do that in the fiscal year of 2016. They actually exceeded that by almost a million in fiscal year 2023. And this is the same year where Baldur's Gate 3 came out. And, you know, did some good numbers for them reasonably for the PlayStation platform, among other things, Spider-Man and whatever else was in that year. They had a phenomenal year, and they were able to ship more PlayStations in that year than they ever were able to do in the PlayStation 4 era. So there was a marketing push that Sony put behind the fact that it was a timed exclusive. That it was a temporary exclusive. You can get this on PlayStation. They put a push behind that marketing, and it led to crazy pre-order sales, a whole bunch of stuff. By Sony being active and vocal and letting it be known, you want to play this on console? Come here. It led to them selling more consoles than ever. In a year where PlayStation saw a big dip quarter to quarter, and they're dealing with margins and they want to sell more consoles, why wouldn't they run back that same successful strategy that had them sell more or ship more consoles than they ever have in the ultra successful PlayStation 4 era? So just using, again, common sense and business sense, it doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't say, oh, there's an exclusive going on, right? Doesn't make any sense. Why they wouldn't be behind it? Why they wouldn't push it? You didn't see such push this time around when it came to Black Myth Wukong. As a matter of fact, not only did you really not see that push in marketing or that participation in marketing, but these dudes put their first party exclusive. They launched it around the same time that this launched. Like, come on. Why wouldn't they? Again, this was like the most talked about game for 2024. Just like Baldur's Gate was like the talked about game of 2023. Why wouldn't they operate that same formula? Why wouldn't they? Okay. All right. So that's thing number one that makes that rumor weird to me. Another reason why that rumor is just weird to me is when I look at the two sides, Jeff Grubb and Special Nick versus Paul Tassi and IGN. Simply put, I just trust Jeff Grubb and Special Nick more than the other two. Jeff, even recently, Jeff correctly predicted the PlayStation State of Play, the time frame that it was coming, amongst others. Special Nick has been right on content coming from Xbox going third party. In contrast, IGN and Paul just aren't that trustworthy. IGN, when the original rumors of the Black Myth Wukong rumorsville started happening via something that some content creator had said, and check out our prior video on that to get more details on that. IGN first rode the exclusivity bandwagon and then had to retract it because they didn't know what they were talking about. Now they're back on. Paul's perception of information has always been off. like his Helldivers 2 lost 90% of its player story when it just meant that there was a 90% drop in concurrent players. Doesn't mean that there's 90% less people playing. It just means that there's less overlap because people are having shorter play times. Matt Piscatella proved him wrong in the fact that it was still charting, that Helldivers 2 was still charting high on PC. So Paul Tassie's perception on this and a lot of things is just way off. And now you have a situation where Paul Tassi is actually trying to co-opt one of the things that I believe Nick, Special Nick said. He says, I have a lot of respect for Jeff and Nick. I would not have published without what I consider to be an extremely authoritative source. Frustrating to not be able to say more. Yeah, I bet you it's frustrating. It's probably not because you don't have anything, you're not allowed to say it. They probably aren't providing you anything. Situation has been described to me as bizarre, which I can certainly agree with at this point. So trying to use buzzwords to fancy up this rumor, which is a vapor right now, that doesn't do anything. Let's try to play on people's ignorance and dumbness. And again, I know there's plenty of them out there that follow you, Paul, that love your tweets. You got an army of quote unquote Mensa candidates following you, but we're all not in that same category. And then to make matters even worse, you follow up with this. You say, well, based on what they're saying, it seems possible a temporary exclusivity deal was done for paying to get a port done on PlayStation side without paying for a traditional marketing deal. Hold on, whoa. Why are you co-opting something that they're saying when you're so adamant that not only the person, but the information is spot on? Can't the person that told you this confirm that at the least? That doesn't give them away. They don't have ways of confirming on how they know in a concrete fashion if this is an exclusive deal. You got to now co-op what somebody else said when you came out and jumped out the G-Ride so forcefully. That doesn't add up, bro. It doesn't add up at all. No way.
I see some bullshit
no way,
in the chat
Jose.
right now. We going early, right? We going live right
And then to
now.
make matters worse, on a more serious note,
I don't know what the.
what's up, everybody? We're live. Yeah, we're live right now, and fuck all the formal shit. Here's what I want to do. This is a Concord Clown Fest. And nothing against Firewalk Studios. This is more of a clown fest towards Sony and their inability to, with whatever their new regime is to understand how to effectively roll out a game that may not be in the most wanted game at the time, right? We're going to climb, and a lot of people have come and told us that our portrayal of Concord was wrong. Guys jumped on Cold Blood, so he's going to get our work today. But here's what we're not going to do. Because I extend the invitation to Pony and Bot in this clown fest, right? This is going to be funny. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have a good time. But I'm going to eliminate the dumb shit right now because we're not going to do this. I licked the dingleberries off of Phil Spencer's ass hairs. So we're going to come here and we're going to be ridiculous. Emmanuel A1, which we haven't seen you in 1,000 moons because you're probably sitting there holding your picture, your Phil Spencer Barbie, and rubbing your tramp stamp on your back, looking at your tramp stamp of Phil Spencer and Satya Nadella, and you cry every time we expose Xbox bad news. What we're not going to do is we're not going to fabricate, bro. I blame you for Concord. You lied and told me it was the best thing at. It was going to beat anything at the Xbox showcase. Or you get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Every time I brought up Concord, I said Concord was a piece of cow dung. Under no shape, form, or fashion did I ever prop up Concord. Stop that. Get your ass out of here. Because I can very easily turn the show and clown you all day. That's not a problem for me. We're not gonna have the Phil Spencer Dingleberry liquors because you guys don't belong anywhere. There's podcasts out there for y'all to all congregate and whine and cry about Xbox going third party over there. I'm extending the invitation to all the other bots that want to come over here and laugh and clown PlayStation. I'm more than happy to laugh with you because you deserve to laugh. PlayStation deserves to be laughed at for today, but we're not going to sit here and do this Phil Spencer I'm sucking the snot out of his nostrils type of affair to try to prop up Xbox, because we're going to laugh at Concord for a day, but we laugh at Xbox for eternity. I'm trying to stay away from that. I wasn't going to mention Xbox at all, but you see how even when we try to extend the olive branch and clown PlayStation and their games together, there's always got to be a dingleberry sniffer that comes out from the forest of Phil Hood, and they got to ruin it all. Emmanuel, don't start your shit, because I can very easily turn the massive amounts of people that want to laugh too that may come here. We can very easily turn this into the Emmanuel A1 show. Do not do that to yourself. Behave yourself and let's laugh together. All right. With that said, what's up, everybody? It's your boy MM2K. I'm not with the bull. I'm with the clownery and the foolery. I ain't with the bullshit. We're here because, man, oh man. Woo! Cold blood. This was a day of all days. I remember Cold blood. Remember how you were told? We were just told this yesterday. Well, no. I'll give Andrew Wilkins and whoever soccer account that was credit. They didn't try to clown us, but they were telling us about how divine the succulent tips of the Concord roast was. They were just telling us this 24 hours ago. And the Friday before that, we were told that we were too harsh on Concord, that Concord was a good game, that it was turning things around. And Cold Blood, you got the brunt of the anger. You got the brunt of the anger. I'm a turn it to you, brother, because look, we're only doing today's show because we had something else in line for y'all. We're going to do that next week, but we had something in line for y'all that it ruined our plans. Yes. Yeah, we were ready to do it. Then Concord had to just totally flatline. It ruined everything. What do you think about today's news? What are your thoughts? We want to hear from you. Yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hero shooter. Yeah. Oh, whoa. Don't did you forget about Doll? I know you didn't forget about Doll. What are you talking about? You didn't like Doll? No, so go ahead. I'm sorry. A Doll. Yeah, it's all Doll's fault. Yeah, hold on. Let me. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, man. But go ahead. They can't hear you? Did I fuck that up? Yep. Oh,
brother,
shit.
what are you doing?
That was my
now
bad.
all my energy is gone.
I'm sorry. You
God
know
damn
what?
it.
I was so focused. I was so focused on Emmanuel A with his bullshit. I'm sorry. Go Cold Blood. Okay, I'm sorry, brother. Brother from the top.
So, can they hear me now?
Yeah, they should be able to hear you now. Yeah, I thought I clicked on you to unmute you, and I didn't. I must have missed it because I just started clicking shit, and then I went on a tangent about Emmanuel. But go ahead. My bad, brother.
Okay, so when did I stop? Oh yeah, doll.
The doll, yeah. But no, my original question to you was, what did you think about, what do you think about this in totality? Because they didn't catch that part where you were like, look, everybody was like, it's a different game or whatever. Yeah, if you could run that back, what do you think about this? Oh my God!
Oh, do I really have to say that again? Okay, so what was I told, Moss? I was told this game is different from Overwatch and Apex Legends and all the other shit, right?
Yep.
It's so different. It's so much more skill-based than Overwatch is because it doesn't have ultimates or whatever. And I was saying like, no, it's a fucking copy of those games put together with Destiny gameplay, and it's just fucking soulless. The character, nobody gave a fuck about them when they released those trailers.
Nope.
The only thing you saw was L. If that didn't tell you how the fucking gaming community thinks about this game, bruh. Yeah, y'all are some naive dumbasses then.
Yeah. Facts.
Y'all had it coming. Y'all absolutely had it coming. And now that this game is officially absolutely dead, like literally dead, not just because there's not enough players, even though it didn't have those players in the first place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, actually, I am so fucking mad. Like, I mean, I am glad this game died as soon as it did because kudos to Sony. They saw the fucking fire spreading and got rid of it immediately instead of waiting until a whole city is burned down.
Yeah.
But fuck, man, so much time wasted on this game for no reason. Y'all had the fucking blueprint, hell divers. You should have seen what people want.
Yep.
They want a military shooter,
Yep,
a co-op shooter, something in that regard. Not a fucking hero shooter, brother. I said it before, Overwatch 2 is already on its last legs. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's not as fucking populated as it was back in the day, by far not. So your answer was Concord. Bruh. Stop.
And you could tell they didn't give two shits about Concord, bro, because they positioned Concord between fucking what do you call it? They positioned it between Black Myth Wukong, which according to Paul Tassi was a secret exclusive. They positioned it between that, and then I didn't even realize that Astro Bot was releasing, like a week after, or a week or two after. Like, they did not give a shit about this game. So I don't know what you guys want us to do. Like, did you guys want us to cry or some shit? Did you guys want us to be like, oh my God, give it a chance? No. All the attacks that you gave my brother, like, the most respectful thing that I heard from y'all yesterday was, who was that said that yesterday, Cold Blood, who said we had the most mature take on it? I respect you, brother. I forgot who that was. I don't know if you remember who it was. I respect you, brother.
What was it, Corey Massey? No.
Yeah. I think it was Corey. Yeah, I respect you, Corey. I definitely respect you, brother. Not because you agreed with our take, because I think it's very clear that you may have, thought differently from us. But at the very least, you were like, look, I don't feel the same way these dudes do, but at least they're coming at it from a reasonable point of view or reasonable POV. I don't see what was so unreasonable about us saying, look, man, the game just is not. It's number one, nobody asked for it. So the best example that I could give is you go somewhere and you're looking for an ice cream sandwich, and then someone hands you a hamburger and you're like, I want an ice cream sandwich. It's 1,000 degrees out here right now. I need to cool the fuck down. Like, where's my ice cream sandwich? Oh man, give this hamburger a try. It's tasty. And the hamburger probably is good. But nobody was in the mood for the hamburger, as Cold Blood alluded to. We were in the mood for the ice cream sandwich. So if you're gonna give me the hamburger.
Oh shit, boss.
Uh-oh. Oh shit, what done happened?
The internal code name of Concord was called Chaos. It's exactly that, brother.
Yep. You ain't never lied. No, it should have been embarrassment. That should have been the code name of Concord, was fucking embarrassment. But here's what I want to do. Let's go look at the timeline of what happened with this game, right? And then let's go and let's look at this story. Let's tell the story. Let's tell what happened with this game. And then what I want to do too is I want to address everybody that was like, oh yeah, I mean, you guys are just hating on the Concord because the Concord is great, and why are you hating on the Concord? Because it's great. And all you guys had to do, like Cold Blood said, is read the tea leaves and say, you know what? This game offers PvE. It's a games as a service, but it offers PvE. This formula works because of these reasons. This is something different. It may not work, right? But before we do that, I want to show you guys this. This is the only person I feel sorry for when it comes to this game. I want to do rest in peace for our homie Doll. That's Doll on the screen. I want to rest in peace to Doll. So Doll, we're sorry this happened to you, Doll. Doll, this should have never happened to you, my good friend, whoever you are. And your snowmobile glasses and your cooking gloves are not going to go away in vain. This song's for you, Doll. Doll, you will be missed. You will forever be in our hearts. All right. All right, let's read this story. Let's talk about this sad ass story for this sad ass experience. And I know what a lot of you were thinking. Cold Blood, MM2K, you guys are assholes. You guys are celebrating a game failing and devs put. No, I mean, if the game is not good and we're trying to warn you of what's going to happen, we're not happy that the devs failed per se, because I don't blame them. I mean, the game is not perfect, but they did their job. They developed the game. I feel like they were positioned in a place to fail. And Sony was negligent because they positioned it so bad to fail that it's going to become an embarrassment, and we'll talk about it potentially becoming a distraction to Astro Bot. But let's go over this story first. So here goes the story. It was told by Warrior. Warrior broke the news. Concord is going offline beginning September 6th. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game in our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options, including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PlayStation 5 or PC. If you purchased the game for PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchased the game from other digital storefronts will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below. And I guess if you read their statement, they can tell you about how they're going to do the refund process and all that shit. So this person says, in quoting this from Wario, they say they put up that it was in development for 8 years, rumored to have cost.
Wait. What did they say about physical copies of the game?
Other retail says Steam Store. Customers who have purchased a physical copy at a retailer location outside of PlayStation directly, please refer to the refund process of the retailer you purchased it from to obtain your refund. Once refunded, players will no longer have access to the game.
So wait a second, they actually send out a message to those retailers that they need to get the game back?
They better have. They better have.
Well, goddamn. I thought they are fucked.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely fucked.
They better have.
Because here in Germany, if you just rip the seal a little bit, it's over. No refund ever.
Yeah, it's here. It's like that in the States, but yeah, no. Sony's going to have to fund all of this. Sony's going to have to fund, but it's not like let's not front it out like that they fucking there was like 8 billion copies of this thing out here.
No. I'm not worried about Sony here. Absolutely not. They don't have to refund anything really.
Mm-hmm.
What, 25K?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
I think that Sony's going to have to communicate with everybody that returns the game, and Sony, as long as they have proof that the game was returned, like you return the disc, you return the case or whatever you're refunding, and then that gets shipped back to Sony, and hopefully Sony will take care of the shipping charges as well. That's what they're going to have to do. I can't imagine a bunch of physical copies being out there, but even if it's only one, that motherfucker should be refunded. And it's probably only one, but even if it's one, that motherfucker should be refunded.
No, kudos to Sony if they really refund everything.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to.
Goddamn, because not many publishers would do that.
Mm-hmm. They're going to have to do that. They have no choice. Let me see something. Oh, shout out. Yeah, so my man right here. My man right here, Jake Chinatown. He says, "Fuck the haters, man. I just picked up a physical version of this bad boy so I can play forever." Oh God! Oh fuck, man! He got to put it in. As soon as he puts it in, there's a message: this game will be shut down in 48 hours. Oh,
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Can you imagine? Man, fuck that. I support the devs. Man, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about dolls, cooking gloves, and all the other funny clothes that these motherfuckers are wearing. Man, so what? So the fuck what? Gamers are just haters. I support the devs. I'm gonna play this game forever. Message. This game will be shutting down in 48 hours. Please try to binge as fast as you can. Oh man, what the fuck you get? Look, no. Okay. No. Let me not. Okay, let me say this. This is gonna piss some people off, but the problem with too many of you out here today is you guys think you're smarter than what you are, when in actuality you're dumb. You're dumb. And what do I mean by that? You're dumb and naive. And dumbness and naivete can be overcome with wisdom and knowledge. You don't have to be dumb and naive forever. I'm not saying that you're in a stupor or you got to sit in the corner with the dunce hat forever and ever. I mean, you're dumb and naive because you think you're smarter than reason. A AAA game where its core survival is its activity on PC, thus it's releasing day and date on PlayStation and PC. A game that in its retail launch can't even get 700 players in its launch week. For y'all motherfuckers that were running around the internet, look at that, it's 42nd on the PlayStation Store. No, when you filter this and you go to most played on Thursdays after Friends and after the Cosby Show, Concord is number 7. For all you motherfuckers that were doing all that goofy shit and trying to caveat reality and reason to try to make this game seem like it was doing better than what it was, and you got caught up in your own misinformation and your spin, and now you don't know what to say, or you guys are fucking hiding because you don't want to come here. I wouldn't want to come here either if I was you. You know what I mean? You deserve it. And I'm sorry, I'm speaking for myself. I don't want to say I'm speaking for Cold Blood because that might be a little bit too harsh, but a lot of you are right now too dumb and too naive because you think you're smarter than reason. The moment you saw that game not getting traction on Steam, whether you liked it or not, I don't give a fuck if the game gave you orgasms just by looking at the cover. I don't care if you were having wet dreams of doll. By you looking at Steam and you seeing that motherfucker couldn't crack 700 at retail, that was your cue, like, oh man, this thing is in trouble. Holy fuck. Let me sit back and just watch and see, because this thing is in some special type of trouble. No, instead you wanted to react emotionally without reason, and you tried to sell us on an ulterior reality. And we weren't buying it. And no matter how much you tried to cuss out Cold Blood in the chat and call him names, no matter how many of you told us that you can't watch us anymore because we were telling the truth about this game, and yeah, we're going to expose you too. Because dumbness is a sickness that can be eradicated. There is penicillin for dumbness. It's reality. Y'all gonna get a dose of reality today, whether you want it or not. You're gonna have to swallow this jagged little pill, and we're gonna cure you. We're gonna do you a favor. But we do not sit here and say the things that we say because we just want to simply talk shit on stuff. We are trying our best to let you know what is likely coming down the pike. That's all we're doing. That's all Cold Blood was doing. I mean, Cold Blood, correct me if I'm wrong. on numerous occasions, you said if you like this game, go ahead and play it and enjoy it. You're not mad at anybody that likes the game. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, but you're right. I said I'm only mad at those that try to convince me this game is something it fucking isn't.
Exactly. That's all we were doing. Y'all were trying to turn a tornado into just a cool mist. It's a cool mist, man. It ain't gonna do nothing to us. And now look at y'all. Look at you now. Look at you. Look at homie Jake Chinatown. Jake Chinatown. Man, fuck all that, man. Dog for life, dude. Putting this fucking Concord in my PlayStation 5. I can't wait for it to be pro enhanced. Oh man, dog. And instead of getting a whole bunch of dog, he just got a whole bunch of wad. Why? Because instead of sticking to reason and facts and reality, y'all wanted to fight them. Y'all let y'all emotions get the best of y'all. And you know what? My emotions get caught up with me at times where I want something to be a certain way and I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. But when things change, I don't have a problem with saying, oh, what I thought before was wrong. Now that I have more evidence in front of me, I better change too. I better get prepared. Classic example, Star Wars Outlaws. Me and Cobra was just talking about it this morning. With the members. If you're a member, go check that out. If you're not a member, you're missing out on a lot of great content. We just talking about this morning. Things changed, and the things that I emotionally thought because of XYZ reason, I had to alter them to the facts, to reason. So when this game dropped, I mean, I was still disappointed because I felt like a better job could have been done. It was way more capable of doing a better job. I wasn't heartbroken. A lot of you now are heartbroken and y'all don't know where to go. You're just like walking down the street kicking puddles and shit. Are you hungry, Fred? No, not right now. Y'all don't want to eat and shit. Y'all are in a spiral because you don't want to listen to reason. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. I hope this is a big ass fucking wake up call to all of y'all, not just the Xbox people. Yesterday, like, things happen for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences. Things happen for a reason. I think there was a reason for us to kick in Phil Spencer, talk about how this motherfucker talked about how bad of a job he was doing, and how he skipped over Destiny, and for less than 24 hours later, Concord to be canceled. This is a wake-up call to all of y'all. Stop making decisions purely off your emotions. There are people trying to take advantage of you in those emotions. There are people paid to take advantage of your emotions in order to sell a product or a service. To give you the illusion that they're giving you something that you want when they're trying to do otherwise. Of course, we're human. Some emotions will get us jumping out of the G-Ride more than others. But as more facts become paramount, you should alter your decision. It's not flip-flopping. That's bullshit Twitter rhetoric for motherfuckers that I don't know if they're missing friends or whatever, that don't have a life and gotta belong to something for the death, to the death. Like this is 300 or some shit. When facts that show you otherwise, that what you perceived before was wrong, when new facts come in and show you that, reasonable people are supposed to change their mind. You're supposed to learn from it though and say, why did I think that way at first? Because of that. Maybe I need to stop doing that and reacting emotionally.
Boss, look at the Twitter DM.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold on. It was nice to get out one of those, get out of the house and leave the internet behind for a bit.
Read that below it. Read that below it.
Yeah, Concord, I feel your pain.
Cliffy B saying that.
Oh my God. We tried to tell y'all, man. All right, let's do a poll. I want to do a poll. Start a poll. What's the best way to describe our conversations on Concord? How about
what do you think Jade Raymond thinks right now?
Oh, I don't know. She's probably thinking, all right, Sony, you better not do that to us. Because there's no PvE in her game either. So they better allow a more accommodating business model. All right. So here's what's the best way to describe our conversation over on Concord? Answer one is Cold Blood Sensei and MM2K were right. Oh man, the Glazers were wrong. I mean, either way, we were right. But look at that. I knew they was going to select, oh, the Glazers were wrong. Oh, God. We tried to tell y'all, man. There's a reason why I put that poll up there. Because I want you guys to realize something. Were we not right or what? No, Ron Slusher, no. We can't even say that, bro. We can't even say Redfall versus Concord. This is the worst game release the entire generation. I can't even think it done worse than Lawbreakers. This has probably been the most abysmal AAA reaction to a game. I'm not saying the game was bad. It's not as bad as Lawbreakers or it's not as bad as Redfall. Absolutely not. But that doesn't matter. This was the most piss poor reaction to a AAA game I've probably ever seen. Like, we talk about Dark Sector and Rogue Warrior. I'm pretty sure Dark Sector and Rogue Warrior sold more copies than Concord.
Rogue Warrior.
I'm pretty sure Rogue Warrior sold more copies than Concord.
Let's fact check that.
Yeah, yeah. This is probably the worst, and it needs to be labeled like that. There's no sugarcoating it. We need to talk about this in this fashion. There are fucking 2 people in Rogue Warrior right now. Oh no, I could be lying. Damn it. That can't be right. The all-time peak of Rogue Warrior was 37 players. that some data must have been purged. I think some data must have been purged. Right here we're looking at owner estimations: 57,000, 104,000, 473,000. I think that's a little bit more right, because it did get a lot of hype and people bought it. But I believe a lot of motherfuckers took it back. So there might be some data on Steam database that purged. But there's 2 motherfuckers playing Rogue Warrior right now. Ain't that some shit? Did Dark Sector come to PC? Yep, Dark Sector sure did come to PC. Look and see what Dark Sector did. Yeah, they're saying all-time peak of Dark Sector was 31. Yeah, that's not it. Yep, this one almost had 1 million. Yep, that sounds about right. Yeah, there's 2 people in Dark Sector as well. Let's look at let's look at Concord. There's 122 people in Concord.
But they're trying to get everything they can out of the game before it's refunded.
Yeah, exactly. And this motherfucker hasn't even cracked 22,000 on Steam, bro. It hasn't cracked 23,000 on Steam by owner estimations. And a lot of times these owner estimations are over, especially in the early days. They're a little bit over.
And just imagine a game like Destruction All Stars is still alive when this game died.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. And we tried to tell, we didn't say that the game was the worst game ever. That has nothing to do with it.
Mouse. No, actually, Foam Stars lived longer than this.
God, yeah. Yeah. Let me look at Foam Stars. Or no. Okay. What we're trying to say, and this is where you got to pay attention to reason, y'all. What we're trying to say is it's not about the game within itself and the quality within the game, which wasn't that grand. It wasn't it wasn't one of those type, like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima. You can drop them fucking games anytime and they're going to kill it. This wasn't a game like that. This was no, absolutely not. If you wanted this game to to have any speckle of success, you had to have a certain type of you had to have aggressive marketing, and you had to have it released at a certain time, not in between the biggest multiplayer of the year so far and in between another first party game. Like, no. So Sony smothered it. It's like they were trying to smother it out, but it's so embarrassing. Look, if you don't care about your property that much, then don't release it. Do not release it. You're better off just not releasing it and just dealing with the void. It would have been so much better if Concord wouldn't have released. This has to be demoralizing for Firewalk Studios. They literally have the worst literally have the worst engaged AAA game probably in the last 20, 30 years. Literally. They probably have the worst engaged AAA game in the last 20, 30 years. Don't get mad at us. We tried to warn you. It was the proverbial, it's 1,000 degrees outside. I want a fucking ice cream sandwich. Here goes some hot chili. Hold on, whoa. I don't want no hot ass fucking chili. It's steaming. Hold it. Get some gloves. I want an ice cream sandwich. I want to cool down. Man, this is the best chili I've ever. I mean, it could be great chili, but I don't want that right now. I need to cool the fuck down, bro. Just hold in this bowl. I'm getting even hotter. Oh man, Fooey, fuck you. You're a hater. Oh. This is, the timing for something like this was horrible. We tried to tell y'all. Y'all didn't want to listen to us. What did y'all do? Y'all went against reason and y'all talk shit on us. And I want to show you something too. We're calling you out. Because again, reality is the best medicine. Now I love all of y'all like kids I've never paid child support for. But Emma, Emma, where you at, baby? Emma Parker, where you at, baby? Emma. Sorry,
She hiding,
Emma.
bro.
Would you? Yeah. Sorry, Emma says can't watch you anymore since you do the annoying YouTuber thing where you mindlessly bash Concord to appear neutral when discussing gaming. You're unable to see the amazing game design, which is deeper than what you realize. Emma, sweetheart. Emma, my dear. Stop dry humping your PlayStation 5. Put down your pictures of wormholes. Stop licking your Polaroid of Hiroki Totoki. Listen to me, sweetheart. Listen to me. The game was trash. It's trash. It was destined for failure. Is it worse than Redfall? Now, we named several games. Redfall, Foam Stars, fucking Dark Sector, Rogue Warrior. Those are some, opposite of Foam Stars. I think Foam Stars was okay for its demographic. That was just another game that nobody really asked for. It wasn't bad, but people weren't really checking for it at the time. But not as bad as this game. Holy shit. But there's a series of games that I named that are far worse than Concord. It's not the issue, love. Not the issue. When you have a game that doesn't have a huge footprint across the gaming sphere, timing is critical. And here's a game that, for all accounts, is mid. On the ingenuity scale, it's mid. Is it possible for a mid game to do well? Absolutely. It's very possible. If the rollout behind it is smart, it definitely can do well, and you can make your money back and be like, oh my gosh, and do it by the skin of your teeth or see a little bit more success, right? Problem here is that none of that was happening. It's like PlayStation wanted this thing to die. They were rolling it out to die. And that's all we were explaining it to you. I could look at DAW and cream my kneecaps and my knuckles. That doesn't change anything. The fucking game did not land with impact, and it wasn't going to land with impact. And we tried telling you guys over and over and over and over again, and you didn't want to listen to reason. See, we get it. A lot of you guys come here because we beat up Xbox, and they deserve to be beat up because of the bullshit that they pulled for years now, over a decade now. And y'all like that. But y'all mistake us for PlayStation cappers. We're not that. We're not going to sit there and run counter defense for PlayStation. Concord was mid. It did not deserve to be ushering us into the holiday season. And it definitely didn't deserve to be launched in the same week of Black Myth Wukong and like a week or two before Astro Bot. They were trying to smother it out. But the thing about it is, it's a AAA fucking game. If this was some AA knockoff indie game, of course you could get away with it. This is a AAA game. You can't do a AAA game like that. It's going to get attention. And especially in a year where you have no AAA first party games besides this. Besides this and a remake of Last of Us, for crying out loud. It's going to get attention. You can't smother this out. This was embarrassing. Which now leads us to our next part.
Oh, Moss, I actually have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Are they going to cancel that Amazon show they had planned where Concord supposedly should be shown?
If they still run that, then PlayStation for the remainder of the year should be called Clown Station. That would be like all semblance of Concord needs to be purged. Like even to the point to where you find Jake Chinatown and you pay him to get off the internet. You pay them. Can you delete that tweet, please? Delete that, please. Here goes $100,000. Delete that tweet. This other motherfucker that you DM me, Ross. Was it Ross Tweaks Games? Hey, yo, Ross, do us a favor, man. Here goes $100,000. Delete that tweet, man. Delete that tweet. Like every existence of this game from anybody that was trying to cap for it should be omitted from the internet, and Sony should be paying for it. So if they continue to have Concord go on Amazon during this, oh man. Yeah. But then that leads me to my next part, which is something that you hit on, which I think now is the time we start focusing on. PlayStation leadership. Whose idea was it to launch this game and launch it when they did? And why aren't they fired or at least dragged into the middle of the street for the public to see and flogged? I'm going to defer this to you, Cold Blood, because you've been indicating all year who you think might be responsible for some of these misgivings or majority of the misgivings at Sony. So I'll let you elaborate on it. But who would you put the square foot of the blame of as far as this game even launching and the poor rollout that it received?
Oh, there's nobody left but Herman now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you blame Jim Ryan at this point? No, he's he's fucking gone.
Yeah.
So even if he greenlighted this game, Herman could have sawn that this game is not gonna be fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, he said, release that motherfucker. Looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just for them to say 14 days later, yeah, never mind. We're gonna cut the funding for this game. Fuck off. Like, bruh, Herman, come on. We need greatness. Not this bullshit. Stop it. And don't listen to these fucking glazers on Twitter, please. anything but them, please. Not this time. Not this time. When it was Days Gone, absolutely. That was unfair as fuck how that game got treated.
Yeah.
But not this one. Absolutely not. This game got exactly what the fuck it deserved. No, Hoodrich, look. You can blame Ryan for even considering this game.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta blame Holtz for saying, hey, bruh, it looks great. Release that motherfucker on almost the same day as fucking Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah. We can't look at Phil Spencer and say Phil Spencer.
Whoa, Moss, wait. Mm-hmm. Mary Wilcox, who was the PlayStation Worldwide Studios head?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Jim Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
It was Herman Holtz.
Mm-hmm.
And what studio is that? A first party studio. So he He's as much responsible as Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't give me that. Nah, it's all Jim Ryan's fault just because he's gone now, and we cannot blame nobody.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught that, because that's what I see happening in the chat. I'm glad you caught that. I see that you guys are like, oh well, let's blame Jack Trenton and shit because he's already gone, and that doesn't knock it. Now, here's the problem in my eyes, and I'm gonna shut up and give it back to Cold Blood. It's even worse in the realm of Herman Hulse, because at least Jim Ryan, I understand why Jim Ryan even okayed the signing of this game, because Jim Ryan had what he had made, like what he felt was like a major snafu in underestimating Xbox trying to make ABK games exclusive. You got to remember. And we go over the timeline here routinely. Jim Ryan thought that at first that Phil Spencer was not going to try to pull some exclusive stuff. Then he reaches out to Phil to try to get confirmation they're not trying to do exclusive stuff. But Phil responds back to him and is like, we're trying to do exclusive stuff. And the only thing that we can do for you, good brother, is we can guarantee that, you know what I'm saying, that the game is going to be on your platform till 2027. So he's now scrambling, trying to figure out, well, hey, how do I make up for not only Call of Duty, but the games now that are going to leave our platform, like Overwatch, because Overwatch, you know, is in their top 25 games consistently on the PlayStation Store. So let's go over the timeline real quick. ABK deal was announced January 2022. Sony lost $20 billion in stock evaluation that it took them almost 2 years to get back. That happened the next day. Jim attempts to agree to terms over ABK with Phil Spencer in May of 2022. But then when he starts seeing that Phil is playing hardball, July of 2022, they acquire Bungie. Because I guess he's realizing, oh shit, we're in trouble when it comes to these games as a service titles that are of our top 25 games. We need to rebound. So he went into panic mode. They bought Bungie. Then in August of 2022, he heard back from Phil, and Phil told him, no, you're only going to keep the games till 2027. So then, several months later after that, April 2023, that's when they acquire Firewalk Studios. Why? Because they get a good look at Concord, and he's like, that's going to be our, that's going to be the successor to Overwatch if Overwatch leaves our platform. The next month, they announced they got big investments in May 2023. We just got a whole bunch of infusion of cash from investors. We're investing heavier in games as a service. Now we're doing it at a rate of 60-40 versus our single player games. But then after Microsoft closed ABK in October of 2023, you know, a lot of shit was happening, conversations going back and forth. Microsoft realized how important PlayStation was to ABK. They totally are like, oh shit, this is bigger than just Call of Duty. None of these other games will survive if they're not on PlayStation. And then in February 2024, Herman Hulse has his infamous letter, right? Herman Hulse has his infamous letter, and they made their layoffs, and then they announced that they are no longer pursuing the strategy that Jim Ryan had panicked over. They cut half of their games as a service titles. They cut half of them, and I felt like they kept the other half because they got to pay those investors back. That's my theory. So they cut half of them, kept the other half, and told you about their recommitment to single player games. Let me show you this. So you guys come here routinely and you try to play that short-term memory shit. We're not going to let you. This is the excerpts that I showed you. When did I do it? On the 26th of August. I showed y'all this on the 26th of August. This is excerpts from Jim Ryan when he talked about when they laid the people off in their new direction, their refocused direction. This was February 27, 2024. PlayStation 5 is in its 4th year, and we're at a stage where we need to step back and look at what our business needs. Delivering the immersive, narrative-driven stories that PlayStation is known for at the quality bar that we aspire to requires a reevaluation of how we operate. But growth within itself is not an ambition. We looked at our studios, our portfolio, evaluating projects in various stages of development, and have decided that some of those projects will not move forward. That's from Herman Holst himself, February 27, 2024. So, to what Cold Blood is saying, why in the fuck is he looking at that in February and says that Concord is one of the games that we're going to release when they release it? That makes it even worse. Because when Jim acquired them and signed off on it, he was in a panic. He thought, understandably so, that the APK games were going and Concord was going to fill a gap. By February 27th, 2024, under Herman Holst, that no longer is a concern. They're going back to their old strategy. Concord is not instrumental in that strategy. I get that a lot of money was spent on it. I'm not saying don't release Concord at all. But releasing it the way you did and when you did, you didn't need to do that. So it's even worse. When you look at all the facts, it's even worse that this thing still got greenlit for when it did. Y'all can't do that short-term memory stuff here now. So that's just my thing, man. And I think Cold Blood is on to something. Now, y'all answer that. We put the facts out there. I don't think you can dispute now that this was a Herm Holst decision. This game came out in August. February 27th, 2024. Herm Holst makes the decision with Hiroki Totoki and the other guy that's over hardware. They still keep Concord slated for when they did. So I think the argument over, oh, this is all Jim's fault, no. There were games that Jim approved that they slashed. They could have very easily slashed Concord. They decided to stay with it. That within itself isn't a problem. But what was behind the rollout? Why did the rollout land the way that it did? Why was there poor marketing? Why did you launch it? Why did you sandwich it in between Black Myth Wukong and Astro Bot? Who was behind that? I think that's the discussion. When you guys start looking at that and not have that short-term memory, I don't see how you can. I mean, again, if you can, let us know in the chat. But I don't see how you don't come to the same conclusion, at least around what Cold Blood is saying. What is the culpability of Herman Holst? I don't see how you look at it any other way.
I think Ice Cream Gaming might have misunderstood us.
She said, MM2K, so you want Herman Holst, what did she say? Hold on, let me, her thing didn't pop up in my thing yet, but I'll read it. She said, MM2K, so you want Herman Holst to leave PlayStation as the new CEO after not being in the job that long, but I understand your opinion. No. That's not what I'm saying. You could be accountable. Like Jim Ryan was made accountable. Remember when Jim Ryan remember when he had slyly talked about, we believe in generations. If you go back but then we found out that God of War and Horizon was still cross-platform. Remember that? Because remember we were then sold previously that, the hang gliding and stuff that they cut out of the first Horizon, it couldn't be done on the old PlayStation 4, but the new PlayStation 5, it can only be done there. Come to find out, you get the hang gliding in the sequel that's released on the play. So there was a lot of that was a lot of bullshit peddled by Jim, right? And even if you look at his words technically, You know what he was doing, some word salad and wordplay, like in the vein of Phil Spencer. Jim Ryan was held accountable for that. A lot of angry PlayStation fans called him out and said, no, you need to be more accountable for the stuff that you say. Do better. And I don't remember seeing a faux pas. I'm not saying Jim was perfect, but I don't see him fucking up that bad since then in regards to the stuff that he was saying. So you can call people out. See, it's not a binary. There's a little bit of gray in between. It's not if you call somebody out, they got to be fired. If you want somebody to stay, you got to say nothing. No, there's gray in between that. It's called keeping their feet to the fire. You can keep people's feet to the fire without burning the feet off. My thing is that y'all are sitting there wanting to be tight-lipped about Herman Holst. I think it's time that people start calling out Herman Holst on this one. Because this is embarrassing. And I would love to get Cold Blood's thoughts on this. I mean, what damage do you think it could this Concord thing with Concord could have on Astro Bot? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, come Friday, the talk is gonna be about how fucking dog shit Concord is, and not how great Astro Bot is. Trust me. This whole week now is dominated by fucking Concord and its demise. No, I mean, what do you want me to tell you, Moss?
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead.
Astro Bot is gonna do the numbers it's gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
That like. Don't expect a fucking $1 billion franchise out of Astro Bot, please. Mm-hmm. It ain't happening. But at least it's not gonna be a fucking failure like Concord is. Mm-hmm. That much I can tell you.
Yep. I think we got to be careful. And these are just my suggestions. I'm still laughing on the inside, but to all of y'all that were cussing us out, that are now trying to move the goalpost and say we're not purveyors of innovation.
Okay, Moss, listen. My stance on this whole thing is: give them another chance, and forget about fucking Concord, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
I'm not feeling bad about these developers whatsoever. What happens to them happens to them. I say give them another chance, unless they made so much damage that Sony can't what do you call it? They can't reasonably keep them. Okay, then fucking sell them. Mm-hmm. But don't bring back Concord. Let it fucking die.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm going to say this. I think there's a possibility you can do something with Concord, but you have to be very smart and you got to be a little bit more willing, you know what I'm saying, and active in rolling it out. But if you don't, again, and you here's what I think. I think that you could do something, but you got to want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Move on to their next game. I mean, there are things in Concord that tells you that they can't, there's potential there for them to build something. There is potential there. Like when I was playing Concord, I felt like the elements in the game would have been better suited for like an action PvE game. You know what I'm saying? Like I really felt like there was some things there that if designing a way for a single player narrative game where you select characters.
Sean, you want to know how great the Sackboy game did? Boss, Google the fucking sales numbers of that shit.
Oh, you talking about the Sackboy game on when it went to Steam?
See, the Sackboy Adventure or whatever the fuck it was called.
Let's see here. Yeah, Sean. And
because that's gonna prove my point even more so that it's not gonna be $1 billion franchise. Because platformers, bruh, they have more of a market than fucking Concord, that's for sure. But brother, platformers are no longer as fucking popular as they were back in the day. Like the only fucking platformer still selling is fucking Mario.
There's an estimation that it peaked at 165,000 sales on Steam. They're saying an all-time peak, concurrent peak, was just as bad as Concord. It was 610 people. Like that's all time. Yes, this didn't do well at all. Sackboy, Sean is known for a poor launch.
And it's funny that the director of Astro Bot said he is looking forward to hear from the PC crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what in the actual fuck? If he is already saying, "Oh, we need more players, bro," the pre-order numbers don't look as great as everybody thinks they are.
Mm-hmm. And they probably are. I mean, look, here's Sean. I want to address Sean's comment where he says, because now I think we're mixing apples and oranges a little bit. Sean says, what did he say here? He says, sometimes people take a risk and fail. We want innovation and hate new shit. What was new about Concord? Like, I get that statement, but I don't think that statement applies here. Concord was not new. Concord was a hero shooter that was a mix of Destiny and Overwatch. So all familiar stuff. I mean, yeah, the mixing of the two could have been new, but it really didn't present anything new and exciting. It wasn't really risky at all. I mean, it was to the point to where people were clowning the game because it had ripped off so many animations from Destiny. So many things from Destiny were being ripped off that it was being clowned because of that. This is not what that statement is true, Sean, but I don't think it applies to this. The problem with Concord is isolated. Nobody wanted a steamy hot bowl of chili in 100-degree weather. They wanted an ice cream sandwich. The chili could actually be good, could not be that bad. But we're sitting there hot and we want an ice cream sandwich. And you're trying to force this chili down our throats. We're like smack. We don't want, the more and more you're trying to shove this down our throats when we want ice cream, the more agitated we get. And the chili, at the end of the day, isn't that bad. Like Concord, when you compare it to Redfall, absolutely a much better game. And some of these other, but it flopped worse than any other game I can remember in 20, maybe even 30 years at the AAA level. There's a reason for that. And we were trying to warn you on that reason. It wasn't that nobody wanted nothing new. I don't think this represented anything new. And because it didn't represent anything unique enough, nobody wanted it. If you were going to build on tropes that we're already familiar with, give us a PvE game, give us an action game, give us something a lot more expansive than a 5v5 arena hero shooter. So actually, it wasn't unique enough, Sean. When it comes to this game, that was the problem with Concord. It wasn't unique enough. He said, someone send me $40 so I can play Concord. Maybe our homie Jake Chinatown, he'll let you borrow his copy. Where's Jake at? Just look up Jake Chinatown. Ask him if you can trade him. That you can give him Phantom Dust with the original assets. Yeah.
No, but Sean. Goddamn, your comment is absolutely right on, but it absolutely doesn't apply here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't apply here.
Anybody that says Helldivers 2 is a failure by Christmas, yeah, we're gonna make fun of them too. Trust me. Because a game selling, 15 million copies is not a fucking failure. Even if nobody plays the game now, it's still not a failure.
Yeah.
Y'all got it all backwards.
Yep. It's made more money, even if they don't, it's made more money in a short period of time that it was ultra hyped than I think they ever anticipated over a 2-year period. And when you think about it, they actually profited more based off of that. Because why? Because they made more money in a 5-month period than they would have made in a 48-month period, meaning, a 24-month period, meaning that's 19 less months of server maintenance and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now you get to reduce your server size and all that other stuff unless you got DLC and packs. Anticipated boost.
Moss, I got an idea.
What's that?
To celebrate Sony's decision to kill this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Astro Bot and stream that motherfucker.
Okay. All right.
Just for that.
Yeah. You know, I mean, look, man, here's the thing.
So people can shut up on our chat that we are always hating on everything.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, at the end of the day, y'all, this is simply, this is important. I told you so. And this is like a therapy session. Like, you guys got to shake free of your, what do you call it? Shake free of your dependence upon PlayStation excuses. Be a consumer. Even if you prefer PlayStation, I get it. For so many years, we've been trying to tell people, don't believe Xbox and their lies. Xbox is dog shit and they're trying to take advantage of you. Believe you me, but at the same time, we're giving that message not because, we want to boost up PlayStation because I like the No, we're doing that because...
No, oh my God, no, Sean. Actually, I was not gonna buy it. But now that I look at Amazon, that motherfucker is 20 euros off before it even launches.
Controller?
No. Astro Bot.
Oh, okay.
20 euros off for me. Goddamn.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay, I'm gonna get it, bro.
Yeah, I didn't buy Concord. I wonder if the Concord controller's on sale. I still want that motherfucker. I think that was overpriced. I was definitely overpriced. That was like an extra $20. They probably sold more controllers than they did of the game. PlayStation.
I could see that, actually.
Yeah. A PS5 Concord controller. Oh, they removed it. Damn, they move fast than a motherfucker. Ain't that a bitch?
He moved the controller?
God damn, bro.
The actual controller is gonna be more of a collector's item than the fucking game.
Yeah. God damn.
Bro, that's so embarrassing. A fucking controller is more worth than the damn game.
Don't sell a controller. PlayStation. Who is making decisions here? Y'all are fucking stupid, man. I'm sorry. To me, that's dumb. I'm gonna go to GameStop tonight. Concord controller.
Amos. So what is our final verdict for Concord?
It's damn. They're still selling on the PlayStation for $84. I don't think it's coming back. You think it's coming back, Cole? I don't think it's coming back, Cold Blood. I think it's done.
I said don't dare to bring it back at this point, but I could see them trying it again because they already put so much money into it.
Yeah. I could see them trying.
But next time you see this game, if it happens, oh boy, get ready for all the fucking microtransactions and shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the battle passes, y'all laugh so much.
Yep.
Okay, now, bro, but for 20 euros off, I get fucking Astro Bot. What are we talking about here? It's some Prime exclusive deal. Maybe y'all got it too. You can look it up.
Okay. Damn, they really, because I know this controller ain't sold out. They really stopped selling the Concord controller, bro. I'm pissed.
Why you pissed, bro? Actually, let me look this up. Concord controller here in Germany probably still available because nobody knows what Concord is here.
Jesus, to me that's stupid. Motherfuckers will buy it and they'll buy it at a discount. Unless what you gonna hold them and shit.
I can buy that motherfucker easily.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Maybe they think maybe they're being precautious in case they do plan to bring it back out. Because the only way it would sell is at a discount. I'm not buying it at full price. Don't get me wrong. I'm not buying it at full price unless I was going to keep it as a collector's item. But I was trying to see that if I could buy it at a discount, and I can't. Yeah, but let me see here. I mean, y'all can look at it like the way J-Dub is looking at it. If y'all went and bought Concord, at least now y'all got money to buy Astro Bot. Maybe that's why Sony did it. They're like, we want to make sure y'all got money to buy Astro Bot now. Maybe that's why they did it when they did it.
I mean, that's a better business strategy than what Concord was.
Oh God. Yep. So, I mean, look, man. I think today was a big lesson for you guys. I think today was a humongous lesson for you guys. I think the lesson for you guys was stop acting off emotions before you press that send button. All we were trying to tell you is, regardless of how you felt about this game, look at what's happening around this game to understand how things are likely going to end. And y'all sat there and tried to demonize us and say, oh no, you guys are just hating, and this is now 7th on the store. Like, if you flip it to Tuesdays and look at when Sesame Street is on, it's the most sold game right after Sesame Street. Like, stop it. The game was in an abysmal state, and trying to pretend that it was otherwise was bad. Like, if y'all would have used it, I'm gonna tell you this much. if you guys would have better used your time instead of trying to act like that everything was okay with Concord, and people would just catch on, like, remember all those people that was in our chat cold blood telling us it's going to catch on, it's just going to take some time. I'm going to find you motherfuckers. I'm going to find all you motherfuckers. I'm going to give you your own spotlight. But instead of doing that, if y'all would have just said, hey, Sony, there's a lot of redeeming shit about this game, but it's doing bad. Hey, why don't you make it free to play? Or why don't you, I heard this guy Cold Blood giving awesome thing. Like, let's keep it rolling. But see, what they saw is they saw extremes on each side. They didn't see anybody in the middle talking reasonably. They saw a bunch of motherfuckers saying, we don't like this shit. We don't want this. And the motherfuckers that do like it, oh no, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. People are going to catch on. And they're like, the people that do like it, they're living in fantasy land. This clearly is not catching on. So we can't rely on them. So there's nothing redeeming right now. Like, we got to go back to the drawing board. If y'all would have talked sensibly, that could have persuaded them to keep it on, but change the model. But y'all did this, man. Y'all did it. Y'all did it by not keeping it real, man. You got to keep it real when it comes to this shit. Like I said, as I was explaining to Ice Queen Gaming, it wasn't about us. When we were keeping Jim Ryan's feet over the fire, we weren't saying fire Jim Ryan. Now, there's some people that were saying that. I wasn't saying that. But we were keeping his feet over the fire and telling them, you watch how you talk, motherfucker. And I feel like he learned that lesson. Let me read some of these chats. He says you were buying it anyway, Cold Blood.
No, actually, I only buy it now because it's 20 euros off. I'm serious.
Yeah, Sean, I see the game on I see the controller. I'm not paying $85 for that shit. I mean, I could do it if I want a collector's item, but I wanted something that I could use, and I'm gonna take it at a discount. Like if they bump that motherfucker down to $49.99, oh shit, it ain't coming back. I don't think it will. I don't know. I mean, it could, but I doubt it. I doubt it's coming back. Well, here goes some interesting news from Paul Tassi. We're reacting to this live. Paul Tassi says, here, let's look at this shit together, y'all. Regarding Black Myth Wukong. He says, Black Myth Wukong Xbox delay update, Microsoft spokesperson to me. As we have said before, we're excited for the launch of Black Myth Wukong on Xbox Series X and S and are working with Game Science to bring the game to our platforms. We prefer not to comment on the deals made by our partners with other platform holders, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us. So Xbox is doubling down on saying that Game Science is lying. We can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us. Well, if you can confirm that, then you got a lawsuit on your hands. Where's the suit? If you're saying that the issue with Black Myth Wukong is not based upon issues with the Series S, unless you're trying to word this in a certain way to say, And this is where I say my theory still stands. I think what's happening is, and again, you got to watch the wording from Microsoft. That's why it even took me a second to repeat it to myself to see what could possibly be going on here. So they're saying, but we can confirm that the delay is not due to Xbox platform limitations that have been raised to us. So again, my theory is that they were working on a solution. They were trying to optimize it. And along the way of them optimizing it, Sony said, hey, look, can you please make sure that this thing performs at this level and work at this, we'll pay you. And they took that payment and they took all their resources working on the Xbox version and just sent it to PlayStation. And they probably let them know that. They probably told them, look, we put a halt to the Xbox version because, simply put, I can see it, again, I'm not trying to be anal like that in my thought process, but I can see a Chinese development company just simply flat out telling Xbox, look, we kind of put your copy on hold because it's causing a pain in our ass, and we're working on PlayStation's copy. Once we get done with PlayStation's, we'll come back to yours. And Xbox is looking at that as in PlayStation approached them and said, stop working on theirs and you work on ours. I don't think that. I just think that Black Myth Wukong developers, Game Science, just was like, well, these guys are paying us to improve on their version, and we're just going to stop doing, because really, we're not going to really make a lot of money here. Like, remember when the guy talked to somebody at, was it Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show, one of those places, and the representative of Game Science said in so many words, look, it's not a supreme moneymaker over there. I think that's Game Science's look at the Xbox. And when presented with money on the PlayStation side, on top of how it's killing over in China, in Japan, and over in Asia, they're looking at the Xbox version, the time and effort they're putting on the Xbox version, and they're like, so what? Who cares? And they probably told them that. And like I said, Xbox is likely salty and pissed off about that, and they feel some type of way, and they're like, it's a deal. It's a deal. I don't think it's a deal. I don't think it's a deal. I think it's Game Science, though, we're where their money lies, and them making a very shrewd decision and probably bringing it to Xbox in a very shrewd way. Oh yeah, we've stopped developing we're deciding to work on the PlayStation one, and we stopped working on yours. But very interesting stuff in the long run. All right. A lot of the Concord Glazers out here, they are upset. They're pissed. Here's. Who cares?
Wait, Andrew Wilkins is in the chat now.
Oh, hey, Andrew. Xbox fans were dancing in the streets. All of their trash games flopped. Now, shout out to Andrew. At least Andrew was respectable about it. I'm gonna give Andrew a pass. Andrew and Mary, even though they were talking back and forth about their like of the game, I'm gonna give them a pass. But I love Emma. Emma has been very active in our chat, and Emma's always welcome here. We still love Emma, but Emma, we had to call you out on your cap. We had to call you out on your cap, Emma. This is big cap. Sorry, I can't watch you anymore since you do the annoying YouTuber thing, where you mindlessly bash Concord to appear neutral when discussing gaming. You're unable to see the amazing game design, which is deeper than you realize. Emma, cut the crap, Emma. Look, this is the keep it real zone. We saw this thing burning as it was crashing to the ground. We tried to warn you guys about it. You guys didn't want to listen. Now you got to run and tuck tail. Like I said, I'll give Andrew, I'll give Mary, because they were just expressing their pleasure. I don't mind their pleasures. But for those of you that were trying to tell us that our analysis, we give analysis of what's going to likely happen. Again, I brought up 5 games. I brought up Redfall. Or 4 games. I brought up Redfall. I brought up Dark Sector. I brought up Rogue Warrior. And I brought up Concord. 4 games. Concord is better than all of those 3 other games. But Concord's done worse than those 3 other games. So when we're talking about something flopping or something not landing well in our analysis, it has nothing to do with how much better it is than this versus that. It has everything to do with patterns and a variety of other things. And that's what we were giving our analysis on. We were looking at the game community, looking at the reaction to this game, and looking at the fact that this was not going to land well with the majority of gamers. And we tried to tell y'all, before y'all get y'all hopes up on this game, be very careful. Y'all didn't want to listen. I don't know what else to tell y'all. Corey Massey says, not going to lie, this is officially a black eye for Sony now. It was the one thing when they did this with Cyberpunk, but this is a Sony first party they had to remove from their stores. That's crazy work. Yeah, that's nasty work, bro. You're 1,000% right, Corey. I think you get it. And Corey, I don't know if you were listening before. We gave you your flowers earlier because I said I give Corey, even though I don't think Corey agrees with our assessment of the game, you understand where we're coming from. So I definitely respect your opinion too, which may be different from ours. You may value the game from a personal standpoint way more than we do. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're just telling you, regardless, even if we did like, even if, let me put it to you like this. Even if we did like the game, me and Cold Blood seeing 183 people on average on the game during its launch week, that's telling me the game is going to fail, especially because it's games as a service, and a vital part of PlayStation's games as a service approach is PC. So if we're seeing numbers that we've never seen for any AAA game, I want to say in like the last 20, 30 years, we've never seen those numbers for any AAA game last 20, 30 years on Steam, to my recollection. If we're seeing the worst engagement numbers ever, and the game is only $40, that's letting you know that me and Cold Blood could have loved this game. Our analysis on what was going to happen with the game wouldn't have been different. We would have said it's a shame it's a better game than what it's being perceived, but we put the onus. I mean, there's elements in the game that we didn't like, but even if we liked those elements of the game, we put the onus of the blame on Sony. I don't think you guys realize that and understand what we're saying here. I don't care if we like the game more than we like Spider-Man 2, Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, whatever. I don't care if we like the game more than that. We analyzed the situation I was in, the engagement numbers, how they were the worst for a AAA game in 20, maybe even 30 years, right? And we said, this is not going to land well. And in most part due to Sony. Now, yeah, did we pick on the game itself? Absolutely. But we were not saying that the overwhelming majority of the reason why the game failed is because of what it had. We feel like that played a role, a significant role, because yeah, but it's just the type of game that it is, good or not, it needed a better rollout. A paid for hero shooter amongst other hero shooters that are more desired on the upfront, that are free to play, that's a tough sell. Again, it's like trying to sell a hot bowl of chili in 90-degree weather.
Moss. Let's have a watch party when this episode on Amazon comes out.
He said, oh, they still do that.
No, let's have really a members watch party with this shit, bro.
I mean, if this does come out, yeah, we'll do that. We'll have a hell of a chuckle, but I hope for Sony's sake they're not that dumb. If they
I hope they are. I hope they are. So you can watch this shit.
If they do, then Ice Queen Gaming, I would have to retract my answer to you earlier, dear. I am then going to call for her host to be fired. They better not do that. They better not do that. They better not do that. If they do that, yeah, he's going to have to go. He's going to have to go. Juice said no one cared when it was in the store. No one cares that it's gone but content creators. That is true. That is true. But the problem with that, Juice, is because we're now focusing and talking on this because this is an absolutely monumental failure, that we're talking about this and we're not talking about Astro Bot. And that's what Cold Blood was alluding to. That's the problem with all this. Like, you don't smother a AAA game when you have no AAA first party games that you released the entire year. It was a horrible decision. Whose decision was that? Corey Massey says, absolutely. I absolutely enjoyed Concord. I have over 70 hours between the beta and the full release. The fact that Sony had to refund the game and take the game offline says that Sony missed the mark. Yeah, absolutely. Corey, I totally 1,000% respect that perspective, man. I wish everybody had your perspective. What can I say? I can't argue with you. If you like the game, fine. Nah, I'm gonna, Corey, I will say this. No one cares, bro. Those numbers are bad, man. Those numbers are bad. Like, I think you can argue for Forspoken. You can't say that nobody cared about Forspoken, but say not enough cared. You can make that argument for Forspoken. Even if you think Concord is better than Forspoken. I'm talking about the actual numbers and data. Because Forspoken was charting. It was competing. Remember, we were making comparisons to it in Hi-Fi Rush for some period of time. It had some decent numbers for a flash of a moment. But this game had horrible numbers from the beginning. From the very beginning, it was god awful. Like, these numbers for Concord are the worst numbers I can remember for a AAA game in the last 20 to 30 years, bro. And again, I want you to look up Rogue Warrior and look at the headlines for Rogue Warrior when it came out. That game was obliterated. Look at Dark Sector. That game was obliterated. Dark Sector, what was that? 15 years ago, almost sold 1 million. Just on Steam alone. Road Warrior sold 500,000 on Steam alone. Concord could not even get to 25,000 or get to 26,000 on Steam alone. They couldn't even get past. Oh, I'll put it like this: Concord couldn't even get to 30,000 on Steam. That is abysmal. And somebody needs to be called out at PlayStation and held accountable. And they need to be asked, like, what the fuck what were you thinking? What were you doing? What was your thought process? Because we got to make sure you never do it again. Because if I go buy this PlayStation 5 Pro, and this is the type of goofy shit that you're going to do, yep, Forspoken was very good. It did. It was very good. Yeah, they're still putting out single player games. They did change back to the single player narrative business mindset, which is important. But I'm more leery of Herman Holt. Now he's on my radar too. Like, I was mainly focused on Hiroki Totoki on some of the financial decisions, but now I'm looking at Herman Holtz like, bro, what are you doing now?
Can I get an apology up in here? Because I feel like everybody forgets who said that first before anyone else.
Well, yeah, can y'all give Cold-Blooded an apology? If they're not willing to do it in the chat, at least a poll. I think they give you an apology in the poll.
Nah, don't be a fucking anonymous dude. Nah, tell me that to my face.
John Wayne says, MM2K and chat live service games ain't going to work. I wish Sony would go back to what they have. They've gone back. They've indicated that they were going back. Let me see if I can find the letter. They've indicated they were going back. And here's what Herm Holtz had to say again. Let me show you guys before we get up out of here.
We need answers from him, bro. Like, after this shit, bro,
yeah.
he should be out there doing interviews. What the fuck happened?
Yep, I agree. PlayStation 5 is in its 4th year, and we are at a stage where we need to step back and look at what our business needs. Delivering the immersive, narrative-driven stories that PlayStation Studios is known for, the quality bar that we aspire to, requires a reevaluation of how we operate. But growth itself is not an ambition. We looked at our studios, our portfolio, evaluating projects in various stages of development, and have decided that some of those projects will not move forward. So again, in the comment, delivering the immersive, narrative-driven stories that PlayStation Studios is known for, at the quality bar that we aspire to, requires a reevaluation of how we operate. That was the statement that he made in February. And that, I think that just signals their overall recommitment to that, and the release of the panic button when it comes to games as a service. And that's all fine and dandy, but you still got to do your job, which is put out quality games. You know what I mean? So, all right. With that said, we're getting out of here. We appreciate everybody that joined us today. Those of you that were bold enough to come in and take your lashes. We thank you. With that said, we're gonna get out of here.
Wait. Post up has the last word.
What a post up say? Oh. What a post up say? Uh-oh. Did you send it to me?
No, I did.
He said, "Oh God, stop it, dumb up, stop it." He said, "What happened to the we support the devs movement?" Shut up. All right,
Man, you didn't do it in his voice, goddammit.
No. Yeah, like I said, I got to be in the mood to do the post up voice. And, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm happy that this happened, not because I wanted the game to fail. I'm happy that this happened the way that it happened, because we told y'all that Sony did not support this game. This is unprecedented. We tried to tell you that Sony didn't support this game right, and y'all were calling us haters. There's no bigger signal that Sony could send that, okay, yeah, we put this game out there to see what it could do. We didn't put a lot behind it. It's doing dog shit. We're pulling it. So because of that, we hope now that you guys are more open and more receptive to when we give you analysis. We're not giving you analysis to hate. We're giving you analysis to let you know what's coming down the pike. It's kind of like how we tell the bots, stop trying to twist Phil Spencer or Satya Nadella's or Tim Stewart's words. They said this, and this is what they meant. And we need you guys to understand, to be self-aware. We all got to examine ourselves and meditate on that and be self-aware of what our flaws is, because nobody's perfect. We all have our flaws. Be self-aware of y'all flaws. I think some of you guys were too much into the trenches of simply making it a binary discussion. PlayStation's better than Xbox. PlayStation is, so you base everything that you judge and you rate and you say and you press send on that. Sometimes it's not even about Xbox at all. This is about a fuck up at PlayStation. Does it make Xbox better? No, the Xbox isn't even in the discussion. Xbox is a joke right now when it comes to it as a platform. It shouldn't even be in part of the discussion. But if we're sitting there telling the bots, you got to be able to have these honest discussions, don't you think that the same thing needs to happen on the PlayStation side too? Don't be a hypocrite. Don't sit there and you can't make excuses for this. This was abysmal, and it's not just bad. This ain't Forspoken bad, where I can understand where some people were like capping for Forspoken because it wasn't 100% clear if they made some slight revenue or whatever. But once they closed down the studio and they talked about how it was disappointing, there was no doubt, right? This is not that. This, again, listen to me. This is the worst selling AAA game, at least on Steam, in the last 20, maybe the last 30 years. For PlayStation to have that game says a lot about the necessity for them to be now more under the microscope than ever. I think that's it. Yeah, Mary Wilcox. In other words, yep, keep that same energy. That's what we're saying. Like, we have our preferences. Look, I don't think you can you can try to, and you like whatever you like, but I don't think you can categorically deny what gamers accept more, PlayStation or Xbox. This doesn't change that at all. It does stain the brand though, but Xbox is so far off. This you would need 1,000 of these in order for PlayStation to be in the same vicinity of Xbox. Xbox has been a failure for over 10 years straight. But that doesn't mean that because they're doing better than Xbox, who has set the bar so low, that everything's okay at PlayStation. Absolutely not. We got to keep the same energy. And we got to keep the energy more. We got to scrutinize them more because this is what we like. We got to scrutinize them more. All right. He said, "Oh damn!" He said, "I just picked it up on Friday and was enjoying it." Yeah. All right, y'all, we will get out of here. I will rap to y'all later. We will be here for early bird special. That is our morning show for the members. Make sure that you join us like around 8:30 to 10. And if you're not a member, hit that join button. Join at the homie level. You'll get access to all the stuff. And there'll be a video tomorrow. With that said, we appreciate everybody. Till next time, have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.